Live. We're going to go live with Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. That's YouTube. This is Facebook. Been a long day, you know, early kickoffs and all that. It's not very good. Hi, it's Billy Slavin. Thanks for joining me on Facebook and YouTube Live. And thanks as always to the sponsors, GRS Insulation, Galaxy Blinds, Smith & Friends Estate Agents, Cleveland Systems Engineering, Dovecot, Advanced Utility Solutions, Heroes and Legends, Cornerstone, and TGM Cars. Yeah, thanks to each and every one of them. And Cornerstone, yeah, I mentioned Cornerstone. Today, the team, again, it was chopped and changed, chopped and changed again. Bryn was still in goal, Borges on the left, Dick Steele came in for the right. I think I predicted that midweek because he's like a feeding dope. Anyway, Dick Steele was in. Edmondson and Dale Fry came back. Dale Fry's been out for a long time. Well done to him for returning. Bazog was on the left, Dope on the right, Baleza, Hackney Central, and up front was, number 10 role was Azaz was back in the start lineup, as was Conway. On the bench was Latty Laugh, Jones, Howson, Clark, Ailing, Gilbert, Hamilton, Foz and Glover. What game did I see? I thought it was a professional performance. I don't think it was a game where we were fantastic. I met a few lads when I got to the Dovecot after the game, and they were saying we were class. I don't think we were class. We were good, but not great. Don't forget, we're playing a Duff team. We're playing a team like Hull City, who are fighting for their lives. They're managerless, rudderless. They've won 2 games in 17, now 2 in 18. So they're in a bit of turmoil. I'd have been surprised if we didn't win today. Midweek was always going to be difficult against a half-decent Blackburn team. I did predict that, but playing against Hull City, I expected a few goals. We got it. We obliged. 3 goals, again, is a great return. You know, if I've lost count, I need an abacus. What is that, 18 goals in the last 4 or 5 games? It's an incredible amount of goals. I have to say, you can see why they're bottom of the league. I talked about us messing about and fanning about at the back. They did it a couple of times, got off the hook. Then they did it a third or fourth time, and they gave us the ball in the wrong area. 20 yards for their own goal. Azaz got it, dropped the shoulder, curled it, left-footed, top right-hand corner. Great finish. Great finish. He caressed it. Didn't go for power, went for accuracy, and curled it, flew in the top right-hand corner. Great start, great finish, and a great goal. And that got us on my way. And then Doak, who was in and out of the game, he flirted in and out of the game. He hit the ball on the right, dinked it back stick, and there was Conway. It looked an impossible angle, to be fair. It looked on the goal line, but at the back post. He headed it over, looking header over the keeper. Somebody next to me said it was an own goal. Conway's goal, well, I've not looked at it to see what the national press says, but for me it was Conway's goal. And then he added a second and Burroughs third, when Doak again was instrumental, come in the right, laid it in the plate, thank you very much. So, again, nitpicking, I'm disappointed he didn't get a chance to get the hat-trick, Conway. I like players getting hat-tricks, I know how it feels. It's good when you're hitting a bad patch and you can reflect and think, yeah, I got a hat-trick the other week, so come on. I'm still not that bad. I just think it's a good thing to get the ball. I know they cost £200-300 these days, maybe it's cutbacks. No, seriously, a lot of teams do it. But I always say, when people say, oh, but we're waiting for the next game to come and there's big games coming, and there is, like Burnley and like Leeds United and Millwall, they're the next 3 games. They're massive games. But I always say Ronaldo and Messi are the 2 biggest players in the world, 2 greatest players in the world, 2 international players that travel the world, and they've got hundreds of hat-tricks between them. Why is it they don't get taken off? Do they not get tired or fatigued or injured or jet-lagged, or they never get taken off? They dare take them off. I mean, Latty Laugh scored a hat-trick last week, he worked his backside off midweek against Blackburn. Today he's on the bench. How does he feel? You know, I don't think, I've not seen him enough, but the games I've seen, Latty Laugh and Conway is a partnership. I don't know if it really works. Azaz is number 10 and Conway up front today worked. I think if Latty Laugh's up front, Azaz, but we've seen that, it works. I have to say I was impressed with Big Bazog today. I think he put a shift in. No, he put it around. He held it up. He rolled players. He was desperate for a goal. Ended up getting the hook. But I thought he put in a good shift today, Big Buzzog. As I say, Dick Steele, no surprise to see him coming in. I did say Ailing was neglecting Dope midweek. I seen it a month ago, and I says the same thing. He'd probably be out the next game. He was, but Dick Steele, I thought he had a decent game again. I'm not saying there was nobody that was right. I mean, some people saying, "Oh, Blazer's still not doing it." I'm not saying he's the best, but he's not played that many games. But he still has to improve and stamp his authority in games. I don't think we've really seen that as yet. Malcolm Taylor says, what a difference today. Top players back. Red Faction gave us some atmosphere because they were back. They've been missing for a few weeks. And Hull at least came and played football. Well, they did. But I don't know, I think maybe that was more stupidity. Playing football in the wrong areas, Malcolm, which Sooty does. Messing about the back. They gave us 2 goals at the 3. I mean, the first goal, dear me. Messing about. I'm critical of us and a lot of teams doing it. But they've only won 2 and 17. Going into today's game, and they've got the cheap audacity to mess about at the back. It's like suicide football, and they get punished for it. You know, I love football, but this pass. And I say I'm critical when we do it. I criticise. Well, today, you can see why they're bottom of the league, and they'll never get away from that if they continue to try and play football in the wrong areas. They had a few decent players. I remember the lad, he was like inside left, but inside left, going centre, with the dreadlocks. He was a good player, him. They tell me he doesn't get a game for them. He's too skillful for them, he shouldn't be there. I don't even know who he is, but he got the hook. But he was a decent player, he was good in the eye, good to watch. But good to have the Red Faction back, the fans back today. There was a wee fallout for whatever reason, but they were back today, made a noise, got behind the team, and it was good. Kev Neller says, great today from the Borough. I hope that you had a chance to catch up with Justad after the Blackburn match. But now wait, Kev. I'll tell you who I caught up with. Big Matty Crooks. Matty Crooks, I heard he was coming in my lounge for a chat. We ended up, he sat at the same table. I know of him, and I've commented on him many times. And he was there today. We had a good chat with Big Crooksy. Good guy, nice guy, placid guy. Obviously asked him about America and managers at Middlesbrough, and he had some good answers. I was on the mic with him. But he's a good guy. He's pretty charismatic, Big Crooksy. So I enjoyed him. And young Coddington was there. Young Coddington was a young keeper at Middlesbrough, went Huddersfield and 1 or 2 other places. I didn't even know. But he had to finish the game through injury. He's only 30 now, 31. Had to finish through injury. What a shame. His dad was Matthew Coddington, who was a young reserve keeper when I played at the Borough. And his father was a coach when I arrived at Middlesbrough, alongside Wally Madron. I took to Coddy's dad and young Coddy's grandfather. I took to him right away when I came to Middlesbrough. I liked him. He used to puff a pipe. He was one of the coaches, and he was a great guy. So young Coddy and Big Crooksy, they're pals. Had a good bit of banter today with them. Something not for Erin. So get involved. Let us hear your views on today's game and how important was it to bounce back today. Bit of an odd time, 12:30. Yeah, it's odd. I mean, didn't do us any harm, or the team any harm, but I just find like getting up at 8:30 in the morning, we need to be at the stadium for 10:30, and the game's at 12:30, and everything's out of sync. But we won. Did I hear there's a game on a Friday night? I heard that today. I mean, I try and just take one game at a time. Who is it we're playing? Would you like to fill us in? Give us details. Borough play, a Sunday night. Borough play on a Sunday night. Is that true? It's unbelievable, isn't it? Stephen Guthrie says, great win, Bernie, for the Borough. We need to beat Leeds United during the week. Well, we've got Leeds coming, we've got Burnley first and then Leeds. We've got Burnley twice in the month of December. Mad, isn't it? Burnley won today, as I said that before I came on here. Been rushing around. They say I was in the lounge, and then I went to the Dovecot as I do after the game. There's a thing, I'll ask some of you. Are you concerned about January being Borough fans? You know that sometimes there's movement in January. Not necessarily good movement coming in. Players going out. Then the window closes and we don't bring anybody in. Are you concerned as Borough fans that we're doing well? We're in the top 6. I think we're 5th tonight. Are you concerned that January might throw... Well, one might disappear. One player might go. Burnley, 9 PM, Sunday night. What a joke. Sunday night. Burnley, 9 o'clock. That's really looking after the fans, isn't it? The guys that have to get up and work in the morning. I know it's only a couple of hours, but the time the game finishes, time the traffic gets away, time Borough fans travel back. It's a joke. As I say, I'm not surprised with anything now. I reckon several years' time, the Saudis will own the leagues. They'll have invested millions, billions of pounds, and we'll be playing games. We'll have to get up at 4 in the morning or kick games at 4 in the morning. That's how daft it is. That's how it's becoming. Who is it? Scott94 says, Louis Barry from Stockport on loan from Villa, doing the rounds, 13 goals in 17 games. Something like that. He's English but played in Barcelona Academy, some player. I'll keep my eyes open for him. So Louis Barry, plays for Stockport. He's on loan from Villa. He's doing the rounds, 13 goals in 17 games. Wow. Stephen Horn said, it's all about money, Bernie, bloody Sky. Well, it's all about money. We know that. But clubs up and down the country always portray, oh, we love the fans, we're a community, we look after this and that. No. Let's be brutally honest. It's a business. We know it's a business. But don't be hoodwinked or kidded or silly. Clubs are in bed with the money men, i.e. the television, whether it's Sky, TNT, whatever. They're all in bed with each other and they all get a decent amount of money. Fans are secondary when it comes to choosing that. So this thing about we look after fans, rubbish. If you look after fans, you try and play at a decent time on a certain day or the same day every week. It used to be Saturdays. I know it's old school. We're up to speed now, but it's because of television. Every game's televised now. I think you can watch any game anywhere in the world when it's on. But they're all different times. But a Sunday night, away. These 12:30 kicks off to get me down, Bernard. I can understand. You don't need to call me Bernard, Trevor. I know it's no Sunday. Understand for live on TV, but we're not on telly today. Good result, playoffs are certain for me. Yeah, that's a point. That's a good point. Why is it 12:30 today and we're not on the telly? I didn't know we're not on the telly because I'm at the game. But why is that? I much prefer old school, Stephen Horn. If you say old school, your class is a dinosaur and this and that. No. I think football fans, if you did a survey, which they'll never do because they're not really interested, they call the shots, the big boys, the money men. I'm sure the majority would say give us a decent time and a decent day for kickoffs. We're playing them in night times and Saturday nights, night times and Sunday nights, 12:30 kickoffs. Yeah, I don't think, well, it certainly doesn't. So a midweek game at 8 o'clock at night or 9 at night, an away game during the week or a Sunday is no good to the guy that works, the guy in the street that works. So there's no consideration. We know that. And if you don't know that, then you're a half-wit. You should know that because it's been going on for years. It's not something that's just happened overnight. John says, Matty Crooks today in the Legends Lounge. Bernie, I was in there. I enjoyed the crack with you both. Yeah, Big Matty Crooks. Don't forget, Big Matty Crooks spent about 18 months here. I always looked at Crooks as a fit lad, box to box, good energy, good endurance. Chipped in me a few goals. He was different because he was tall. I didn't realise how tall he was till I stood next to him today. I was coming up the seats in the stand to get into the lounge and I said, oh, big man, I didn't realise how big you were. I would need a head and a stick to compete with him. But he's over in MLS. Is it Salt Lake, whatever they're called? Some team over there. I asked him the crowd, because I don't really know, I wasn't going to bluff it. I think there's about 15 to 20,000 go and see them. It's not a bad crowd, Lee Chandler, no. Became a franchise when the Premier League took over, just like the NFL. See Milton Keynes Dons, for example. Yeah, as I said, we knew it was going to come. It was always coming. But now that Bernie, great result, we need to get clean sheets, Dan Smith. Look, the investment. Who was it I was listening to? Was it last night? I was listening to somebody. And clubs all over the country are going to start really upping their prices. And I can't remember the sum, so I don't want to bluff at her. The clubs are getting unbelievable, astronomical amount of profit and money, and yet they're still bumping prices up and down the country. Yes, so there's a fan base. You might know about it if you're one of them. Let us know. I think it's all over the country with fans that travel up and down the country watching their beloved teams. That there's, I think there's a website where everybody's trying to complain to the football clubs to try and get a bit of fairness, if you like. I'm all for that. I'm all for it. Don't worry about that. Could have been so different had the referee sent off Edmondson for pulling the lad back, Colin Ward. Yeah, somebody says that. A lot of fans only see what the other teams do wrong, but Edmondson, yeah, he was lucky to get off the hook. But when it was 2-0, and then we lost a goal 2-1, I thought, oh, here we go again. We had the jitters for 5-10 minutes, and then we get back in the fold. So, yeah, once we get a third, that was it. I mean, when it was 2-0, I thought, we'll get 4 or 5 here. But we were still in the driving seat the majority of the game. Mally Hanley says, great result today, Bernie. 7:30 kickoff in Toronto. 3 good goals. Do you recall your goal against Hull? I think this is for Mally Hanley, who is in Toronto. I think Bird and Kerr made it 3-0 back in 1990. Loved Erson Park up the borough. Hi, Mally. At least I was in Toronto. I think the weather be a wee bit better than here. It wasn't as cold today, to be fair. I quite enjoyed the temperature today. I think I scored a couple against Hull. Yeah, I can't. I'll be honest. I can't remember what the goal was like, but yeah, probably in that 3-0 game that Bird and Kerr scored, I scored one. Yeah. Toronto, how's the weather over there? Steve Daly says, why does Carrick leave it too late to mix it up? 2-0, okay, but started to run out of ideas. Fresh legs would have, let's see, fresh legs would have been seated, would have sealed the game earlier, but no, we wait until they score and then put us under pressure. If we made changes at 2-0, we would have romped home and probably a clean sheet. Well, it's hypothetical, possibly, maybe would have. Scott94 says, what about Dale Fry back in the team today? I thought he did all right. Well, I thought he did all right. Don't forget, Dale's been out a long time. I think he's been out nearly a year. I think he had a hernia and then he had 1 or 2 other injuries. And for whatever reason, took his time getting back. But he's back in the fold now. Big Clark was on the bench. Yeah, he should be proud he's back in the team. It'll give him a boost. Hi, Bernie. Was interested to see one of the Hull players having a go at Ryan Giles for the 3rd goal, telling him, this is for Michael Goody, hi Goody, telling him off, not getting close to Doak. Well, no Giles going forward, crossing balls, but cannot defend. I knew that right away. When I seen him coming on Giles, I thought Giles going forward might get a couple of balls in, he did. But yeah, Doak was always going to get by him. As I say, that was Giles. Giles was great going forward, but his defensive qualities were lacking, you know, and I knew that Doc would exploit it, and he did, because he made a goal when he came on. Carrick needs to be more proactive than being reactive. Yeah, as I say, look, we can say what we want about Carrick today, but he's won the game. He's did it his way. We don't agree with certain subs or late substitutions, change it quicker, but he can sit back the night and have a glass of wine and think, you know what, chopped and changed again, won the game 3, another 3 goals, 18 in 4-5 games, some return. But the big games are coming now. Over the years it was, you put the weaker teams, the so-called weaker teams, and we've played them recently. Queen's Park Rangers, I think, are still rock bottom. Hull City, we played today, are 3rd bottom. And the other teams who were powder puff were blown away. Blackburn didn't, they're one of the better sides. And Burnley, who won today, are no mugs. Then we've got Leeds, no mugs. And then we've got Millwall, no mugs. So the trend over the years since I arrived, the so-called weaker teams, usually we get beat or lose a game. and the so-called bigger teams would turn it on. But let's hope that the roles of the reverse and we go and batter Burnley. Burnley, I'm looking forward to Burnley. It's on Friday night. I'll read a few of these out where you get involved. I know it's an odd time, and I went into Dovecote after the game and I'm thinking, dear me, it was only 3:30. So Matt Cruchy, I mentioned him. Matt said another 3 goals, another 3 points. Yeah, Matt, 18 in 5 games. But you can add the 3 against Norwich as well. 21 in 6-7 games. Amazing. Jeff says Dalton Conway, Maiden Scotland. Dope creator, Conway the finisher. Yeah, it'd be John Henry, obviously former Borough winger. Very good player, great guy, love him. He was shouting, he did Scotland scarf, he was going like with Scotland scarf. St Andrews and up the Scottish and all that. I had to remind him I'm Irish. Anyway, yeah, Dalton Conway, both of them international players. Neil says, 5th in the league now, Bernie. We're sitting pretty. If we go over the next 3 games, get at least 5 out of 9, and still sitting in that top 6 and a couple of games before Christmas, yeah, that's brilliant. But are you, I mentioned it 10 minutes ago, if you're a Borough fan, are you looking for people to come in January? Are you thinking 1 or 2 might leave, might go out, might depart? I mean, rumours are rife. Latty laugh. Azaz is under the radar now. He's hitting top form, which he is. I have to say, Azaz doesn't look loud or aggressive. He just oozes a wee bit of class, doesn't he? You know, he dips in and out the game. He hit a great ball today. Oh, it was when it was 0-0, early doors. Just come in my head there. Azaz has gone to the right and he's whipped it. Great ball. He's hit the space. And Latty laugh. Was it Latty laugh? Oh, was it Latty laugh? Anyway, somebody missed it bang on the middle of the goal. Totally fluffed these lines. And missed a sitter. 6 yards out. Missed an absolute sitter. Anyway, but if you look at Azaz, 11 games, never scored a goal. Now he's 6 in about 5 games. It's an amazing turnaround. For the team as well. So you have to give the plaudits when they're due. What's it like playing football over the Christmas period? As a fan, I love it. Also, did you like playing in the freezing cold? Whereas as a fan, I don't like it. As a fan, I don't like it. As a player, it didn't matter to me. I quite enjoyed different conditions. Christmas, as a teetotaler, didn't really bother me either. But I keep going back to Crooksy. I was talking to Matt Crooks, and he was saying it's the first Christmas he's had in years. Because he's off now to the start of January. So he's over here, flies back in January, but it's the first Christmas he's ever had with his family. So it must be brilliant for him. Barzog missed the sitter, yeah, Barzog, that's what I meant to say. Barzog missed the sitter, but what a ball for Azaz. So you can imagine early doors, 0-0, Azaz gets it, whips it in, Barzog centrally the goal, 6 yards out, just has to get his feet on it, side foot finish, lets it run across him, miskicks it. I was a bad miss that. I mean, Barzog was desperate to score a goal. You could see he tried to the bitter end before he got the hook. Azaz just shows you need to settle. I thought he offered nothing when he first joined. Mr. T and Two Sugars, good name that. Yeah, look, we give opinions individually, collectively, 1 game, 4 games, 10, 12. Some come to the fore, some eventually find a level. Some don't deliver the goods and they disappear. But as has proved, like Akpom was here a year and a bit, didn't kick his backside, didn't look a player. Carrick comes in, changes the dynamics, more attacking, Chels is bombing down the right, he's got Ramsey and Archer alongside him in certain games, and he turned it right round. He was so good he got a move. He was the Championship's top scorer, when before he couldn't look as if he'd hit a barn door. So, yeah, well, it's easy to criticise, but some people find it very hard, easy to criticise, but find it hard to give the plaudits. But Azaz, without a shadow of a doubt, he's been, I would say, amazing. 6 goals in 5-6 games. None in 11. But he was still making goals. But he missed a game midweek against Blackburn, but he never missed a game. He was one of the few that had played every game. So Carrick obviously sees him on a daily basis and seen more than me, you. Kept faith in him and he's getting the rewards now. Daniel Jones says, Borough will make the playoffs. Well, Daniel, that's the least way. Look, if I was told now we won't make the playoffs, I would class it as failure. A 28-man squad. We've brought a lot of players and we've got a decent striking force now. Don't forget, everybody's chipping in with goals. I'd like to see Brazil getting a couple more. Conway's get 5, 6, 7, whatever. Azaz's get 6. Latty Laugh's get 6, 7. So we're all getting goals now. We're sharing around. I want to see Hackney, now he's back fit, getting another few goals and boosting his goal tally. Dope continues to create. So we're getting goals, we're sharing goals, and that's a good sign. That breeds confidence. I'll read a few of these out. Keep them coming in, get involved. So where were we? I read that, yeah. JJ says, it's good because I can get reading these out. I usually bypass them. Hull City, Azaz is on fire, as is Conway for JJ. Totally agree. Both of them on fire. I know it's Borough's show, but are the wheels coming off? For Sunderland, this is for Scott 94. Injury suspension setting in. Now I'm looking forward to playing them in February. A lot of people say the wheels would come off. I think it was more hoping than believing. But yeah, I think they've had 5 draws and then last night they get beat. I thought they played well last night. I watched the game. Sunderland against Sheffield United. I have to say, Sheffield United after today's game, are they still top? I know they went top last night. But Chris Wilder, you know, we knocked him here at Middlesbrough, couldn't wait to get shot at him. And now he's leading the championship. I've always thought he was a decent manager, and he is manager. I don't think he's a coach, he's a manager. But he's left here and went 1 or 2 other places, but now he's back where he belonged, and he loves Sheffield, and he's top of the league. Can you criticise him, can you? Steve Daly says, Azaz has gone to a different level now. As you can see, not with the first dozen games, but I think he can command the midfield. Full strength squad looks awesome. Steve Daly. Yeah, the thing about Azaz, he played last year, don't forget. He was here last year and never really set the head on a light. I didn't really take to him, I'll be brutally honest. It's easy after the event, everybody says, oh, I always believed him. Did you? Really? Did half the fans of Borough believe in Rodgers when he came? I thought he was fairly skillful. Did you think that he was going to be as good as he is when he went to Villa? Everybody had him sitting in the stand or playing, getting a first team game in 4 years' time. He's in the team, he's playing in Europe, he's getting rave reviews. So we don't always get it right, but we commentating per game or every 10, 12 games in. So that's gone a different level. I mentioned that. Michael Good says, hi Bernie, what's your views on the goalkeeping? Yeah, hey, look, I'm looking at young Brennan and think, yeah, he moves the ball quicker than Dieng. He hits more long balls with accuracy than Dieng. Is he as good a goalkeeper as Dieng? Well, I've not seen him enough games to really qualify that one, but I do know he shifts the ball quicker and releases the ball quicker and hits more long balls quicker and more accurately, because I don't think Dieng's good at hitting long balls. I think he's so programmed into hitting it short and holding it for periods that he's programmed into it. That's in his DNA, that is what he does. This kid, Brennan's come in and thought, you know, I'm going to move the ball quick, I'm going to hit it long when it's on, and he's done it efficiently. So yeah. Do you think getting rid of Rodgers for Azaz plus 10 million was a good deal now? I would be greedy and like to have got Azaz in what he's shown us now, but in the first 10, 11 games, if you asked me that, I'd have said it was money squandered. But do you think getting rid of Rodgers for Azaz plus 10 million is a good... It looks good now, but I tell you what, if we were to let any... If we were to say, look, Latty Laugh will still be under Palace's radar or whoever. If they come back in for another bite in January and the money is right for Middlesbrough as a business will take it, as a selling club will take it. But I would think that would dent our promotion hopes if we were to do that and we don't replace him. Rodgers went in January, don't forget, never replaced him, window closed. I predicted it would happen, it did happen. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes again like that this season. The club's entitled to do it, it's a business. We're fans, we don't control or know the the figures behind the scene and the money side of things. We concentrate on the players and what we see on the park, and I'm that. But if we were to let a Latty Laugh go, or a Hackney, or anybody really that's in the groove at the minute and doing the business, I'd be majorly disappointed. And I think that would be a statement. It wouldn't be a statement of intent. It'd be a statement saying, well, we're going to gamble that we're going to get rid of a player, get loads of money in, not bring anybody else in, and gamble. I think, me personally, surely Carrick, because Carrick, he signed a new contract, didn't he, not so long ago. Surely Carrick was promised we won't release anybody in January. I'm only surmising that. I don't know. I'm not privy to that. I'm only guessing. Surely Carrick wouldn't have signed a 4-year contract if they were saying, "Oh, we're going to let players go in January." If we're in a good position, which we are, and we continue top 6 into January, or we're in that 10, surely we cannot get rid of any of our top players. If we do, then for me, we're weakening our chances for getting into the top flight and finishing top 2 or top 6. You're looking for trouble. We're looking for trouble. We need a natural left winger. Dope won't be here forever, and when teams double up on them, we need another outlet. Wide man on the left, desperately needed. Yeah, well, McGree's obviously hit and miss. He plays more games for Australia than Middlesbrough at the minute. I'm a fan of his, but he's injured again. We played Berzog there. I don't think he's a natural left winger. We played John Hamilton there. He's more right-footed and right side winger than a left winger. So I would say, yeah. I watched the young lad at Sunderland last night. I thought I was impressed with him early doors. Can't remember the kid's name. First time I don't watch Sunderland as a rule. But I watched him last night. Sunderland were unlucky, but the left winger caught my eye. He was built like a jockey's whip. He was like a lat. Built like I don't mean that finger. He was built like a lat. But he's skillful and he's fairly tough for a thin lad. He was thin. He was not a dope, small, stocky lad. He was lightweight, but he was fairly tough, and I liked him as soon as I seen him. I thought he's loaded with skill. Get 20 million for Latty Laugh or 170 million for going up. Makes no sense selling anyone. That's a fair point. Scott, I think Conway is at least on the same level as Latty Laugh. Who's that from? Mike T. Sugars, yeah. And Tommy Watson, that winger is called Tommy Watson, yeah, okay, Tommy Watson. Watched him last night, was impressed, not seen the kid before. Only a young lad, whippersnapper, but looked confident and with a wee bit of arrogance, skillful and, game, going at the defenders, passing it, sort of a way of swagger. I liked him. But a left winger, yeah, a left. So rather than us thinking who we're going to let go or if anybody's going to go in January, what about thinking we're going to get another player in, i.e. a left winger? I don't think a left winger would go amiss. Paul Ronald says, evening Bernie, evening Ronald. Good win today, which was needed after that Blackburn farce. It was a bad game, wasn't it? Still think we mess about. He says piss, but we say what he means is mess about. I call it fanning about. Too much at the back with the ball. Like standing, putting our foot in it. Yeah, we did it a couple of times today. Just standing there. Why not just play it forward and stop messing about? Watch second half of Leeds game after the Borough had finished, and after that watch second half of Burnley game. Leeds don't look anything like the team of last season, and I think we could win that. We've proved in the cup we can go to and beat Leeds. Obviously, Burnley looked strong at the back, but did leave gaps that a better team than Stoke would have made more of. These next 3 games we'll see exactly where we are as a team. Steve Daly says, good partnership development with Dope and Conway. Yeah, Dope and Conway look as if they're working in tandem. They know where each other is, where Conway's going and runs that he expects balls for Dope, and Dope's likewise. And when Dope made the 3rd goal, you see him run, I'm sure it was Dope ran behind the goal and went to celebrate big time with Conway, maybe the pals as well, but really 2 of them loved it. And I'm sure Conway appreciates Dope's creativity. Don't get me wrong, Dope was better than he was midweek, but Dope was still under par by his 10-star performances because they're starting to double up. He will be a marked man now, of course he is. The more people talk about him, the more people rave about him, the more he's going to get marked and booted, and speculation about him going. That's all it brings. I mean, somebody says today, if we go up, why don't we, we'll have loads of money, pay 30 million for Doak? Do you know what? Doak might be worth more than 30 million. We don't know his valuation. The game's mad. Average players are going for 25. I think Doak's more than an average player because of his age and because his status as an international and playing regularly at Middlesbrough. I think his price tag will be up. I really do. So GG says Azaz and 5, we mentioned that. Conway, I would like to have seen Conway grabbing a hat-trick. Nico, I mentioned that. Yeah, I just want to see, excuse me, I want to see players, if they've got an opportunity to get a hat-trick, get a hat-trick, let them get a hat-trick. They deserve to get a hat-trick. I know there's another game coming, but oh wait man, it's like Friday. As I say, I just don't get this. It's happened for a long time now. In my day, if you scored 2, you would get your hat trick. Well, you wouldn't guarantee the hat trick, but you had a good chance of getting it because the manager would leave you on, and your teammates would try and get you. I remember hearing Mark McDonald's story. Mark McDonald, I worked with Malcolm Super Matt, he's known in the younger viewers, Super Matt, big side bangers. I used to side bangers in Glasgow as a kid and call myself Super Matt, didn't know who he is. Ended up, I met him, he was a superstar, as big as Shearer at Newcastle and massive at Arsenal. And Malcolm, yeah, Malcolm was some player, but Malcolm used to, he scored hat-tricks, but he played for England. It was against Cyprus. He scored 5, and before the game, the manager at the time for England was, who's the guy at Leeds? Don Revy. Don Revy, he was the manager of England, and says to Malcolm, you better get at least a hat-trick tonight, you won't be in the next squad. This is the story that Malcolm tells. So Malcolm told guys like Alan Ball, Kevin Keegan, who was a Geordie, Malcolm obviously played in Newcastle, he went round all his teammates, Malcolm, told them what Don Revy had said, and Keegan and co told every player in the England side that night, get Malcolm the ball, get him as many goals as he can. Everybody knew what Don Revy had said to him. Thought it was unfair. I certainly would have thought it was unfair. And they kept putting him on a plate, and Malcolm get 5, and he remains the last England player to score 5 goals for England. But imagine a manager saying that to you. He says something like, I didn't want to pick you. I was forced to pick you with the pressure on me, with the press and whatever. Arsenal 4-0, West Ham only 35 minutes going. Wow. Malcolm couldn't stop a pig in a passage. That's a Stephen Horn. Yeah, he couldn't because you get bow legs, Malcolm. But Malcolm, I've seen clips. I worked with Malcolm for 12, 14 years with a show called The Legends up and down the North East, tours every night. Straight talking show, no bullshit then, no spin, weren't frightened what he said. There was no PC then, we said what we wanted. Everybody loved it, the radar figures were through the roof. We wouldn't get away with 2 minutes these days. But Malcolm, I've looked at Malcolm, certain clips of Malcolm, there's not a lot of clips of Malcolm, but he was some player. He was as fast as a greyhound, strong as an ox, and scored nearly 200 goals. Revy was a weird man, Steve. Yeah, but I heard Revy was strange. That was another one, Malcolm. I'm not talking stories out of school here. If it was a private conversation, I wouldn't be telling them. There was another one with Malcolm. What was the other one? There was another one with Don Revy. Malcolm tells, and Malcolm said book, so in his book, Don Revy, again, he'd been Leeds manager. Don't forget him and Cloughy didn't get on, and both of them for Teesside. Don Revy, after a game, they played Germany. Malcolm was up against the Kaiser, the centre half, Beckenbauer, great player. Malcolm scored against, who was the goalkeeper? Zet Meyer. Scored against Zet Meyer. Don't forget, Malcolm's older than me, but I still remember this period. And after the game, Malcolm was asked by the BBC or ITV to come and do an interview after the game. And when he goes to do the interview live on telly, I think it was the BBC, these guys he'd spoken to before at club level, international level, and they all were sort of cold towards Malcolm and asked him bizarre questions. You know, you scored 1, but you should have scored 3, and why did you do this? And you could have did that better. And Malcolm thought, this is a bit bizarre. And it turns out that Don Revy had said, this is coming from Malcolm, the horse's mouth, not from me. Malcolm confronted one of the TV guys and says, listen, everybody's, the way you're talking, what's going on? oh, we know that you wanted X amount of money. And they said, what are you on about? Don Revy had told the BBC or whoever he was getting interviewed by, the television company, that Malcolm had demanded, say it was 200 quid, a lot of money back then, to do the interview, and pocketed it. That came from Malcolm. Unbelievable, eh? Imagine your manager doing that. You want in a room and you're talking to guys who you talk to every week for free, and all of a sudden the England manager's saying that you're demanding 200 quid. So, no, him and Revy never got on. And Cloughie and Revy, despite coming for Teesside, never got on. Talking about Supermac, I found a 1981 final of the Superstars. Never realised how quick Supermac was. Paul Ronald. Yeah, Paul, I remember it as a kid, but you know, I didn't take much notice. But Martin, what was it called, the programme? Superstars, where there was all these different athletes, runners and swimmers and footballers and tennis players, and they would all mix and compete in different sports. But Malcolm could have been an Olympic sprinter. We talk about Traore. I think Malcolm was as quick as Traore. That's how quick he was. Could catch pigeons. I told the story once with Mark McDonald, ball over the top. I thought, what a load of old junk. Ball over the top, he's playing at St James's, ball over the top. The centre-back knew that he would never catch him for pace, tried to strangle him, ended up getting a piggyback. Malcolm ran with the ball. I know it sounds farcical and far-fetched, but I've asked Bob Moncur, Captain Bob, who was the last captain to win a trophy for Newcastle. He carried him on his back and hit the ball and it hit the roof of the net for about 20 yards with this guy on his back. Imagine that happening now. I mean, you just pull somebody's shirt and you get sent off. Where are we here? What do you think of Bazog today, Bernie for Ben? I thought Bazog was I thought he was strong. I thought he ran willingly. He looked highly charged. I thought he was good today. I think any time he's played, he's did have decent, big Bazog. So well done to Bazog. I think he's starting to settle in. Nelly says, still not convinced with Belazer. And it was good to see Hackney back in the team. Good to see Hackney. Good to see the fans chanting he's one of our own at the end. They sang that when Hackney got the hook. Obviously it wasn't because he was bad, because he's just back for injury, and it makes sense. And he got a good reception from the home support. So good to see him back. And Belazer, I think Belazer knows he's going to play a bit piece. Just like Jones. You see Jones come off the bench. Jones come off the bench today. Obviously Doak's still on the right. He ain't going to get that position, so he played in the left. But I feel sorry for Jones to a degree. You know, Jones has been come in, breath of fresh air, similar to Doak. He was direct, skillful, brave, and then he lost his way, and then he was in the team, and now he's out of the team. And he knows with Doak there, as long as Doak's there, he ain't getting back in. Hard to accept. Can he make a shifty or maybe he can play in the left? I think he could do a job in the left, Jonesy. I saw Martin play for Borough and play Borough for Arsenal and Newcastle. Brilliant player. The Holgate didn't have to give him some stick. That's true. He deserves it. Jones will get his chance again for Darren. I'm sure he will, but at the minute with Doak, as long as Doak's there, he won't get a chance on the right. Martin was some player. FA Cup draw on Monday. Who do you want? A League 2 team or a big team at home? Don't care. A lot of fans don't care about we get knocked out. Oh, it doesn't matter. What a load of old junk. I've heard it every year. Same rhetoric, same rubbish. Of course it matters. We get beat out of the League Cup early doors. We get beat 5, humiliating, embarrassing, against the youngest team ever at Stoke City had put out. We had a waiting team, but so did they. We get beat 5 at home. Did we pick up after that? No, we didn't. With a bit of a slump. I don't buy into this. You knocked out cups early doors, concentrate in the league. That's it really matters. It does really matter, but it's no bearing on it. It's a myth. So I don't care who we play. A big team at home, small team at home, doesn't matter. And we're a bit of luck in the draw. League Cup, FA Cups. I know we're out the League Cup first round. A bit of luck and fortune, home ties, weaker opposition. Before you know it, you can tumble and stumble into the quarterfinals. And then you think, hey, game on here, we've got a chance here. So, the Cup has been tarnished. The FA Cup has been tarnished for many years, ever since Man United deserted it they were playing the World Cup, whatever. The FA here sanctioned it as they would because everybody's gaining at it, set the fans. That sort of took a shine off the FA Cup for me. Never quite recovered from that. Crowds dropped. Teams started messing about with shadow teams, shadow squads, inferior teams. And the fans weren't turning up. Years ago when you watched it as a kid on the black and white telly, you were thinking, look at the crowd. I used to live in Glasgow and think, look at the crowds there. FA Cup, magical competition. Now, it's just another competition. Everybody abuses it, so it's lost its appeal for me. Steve Daly says, Supermac was at his prime when I was a kid, but for a bloke built like a brick shithouse, he was unbelievable with skill and speed. No, he was strong as an ox, as I say, and as fast as a gazelle. Buzz Zog showed a bit of strength and attacking mindset is what we need to get us into the playoffs. I agree with that as well. Showed a bit of strength, attacking mindset. See, I think Bazog, touch wood, nothing happens to him with centre forwards, but I think Bazog could do a job up there because he's taller than the rest. I think he's stronger than the rest. He's more aggressive than the rest. I think he could give something different up there. FA, be nice to pull Newcastle at home on the FA Cup. Carl Weldo, I thought it says weirdo. Carl Weldo says FA be nice, the FA Cup would be nice to pull Newcastle at home. That'd be brilliant. Talking about Newcastle, Matt McDonald, do you remember they beat me? Was it Ronnie Ratcliffe? Ronnie Ratcliffe, wee fat bloke. He had a pig's belly stuck out like that. And Malcolm, I didn't know Malcolm at the time, but I think I probably watched it in Glasgow. The ball went over the top, Ronnie Ratcliffe got the ball, he was about 25 yards out, the pitch was sodden, muddy, and he hit it. And don't forget, Newcastle were firm favourites to win, and Ratcliffe hit one, and it flew top corner. And he ran away, hands up, shot jumped up here, belly was out, the lot was out, brilliant. Yeah, I always remember Malcolm with that. Graham McTiernan says, hello Bernie from Romania up the Borough. Hiya Graham, thank you for joining us from Romania. Have you bumped into that Hadji yet? Hadji, what a player he was. Hadji. I know his boy, is his boy still at Rangers? But Hadji was some player. A lot of talk about Mark McDonald. Where are we here? Was it one night we were talking about Martin? Was it one night we were talking about strips and clubs selling their soul and when, like, I remember Middlesbrough coming out once, I was doing the commentary with the late great Ali Brownlee. It was either Century or Real Radio. And Borough came out for the warm-up and I looked and I thought, that's Newcastle, they had black and white tracksuits on. And I was thinking, is this some kind? I thought Newcastle teams out and Ali went, no Bernard, that's Borough. And I thought, what a joke. So I remember Martin having a go and saying I would never wear red. I'm sure it was red and white. Lo and behold, Martin actually wore red and white. When he joined Newcastle, they had a red and white, either kit or tracksuits. And Martin was critical, saying I would never wear red and white, but he did. Matt Monroe says, great comeback after midweek disappointment. When we click, we look like scoring goals with a full fit squad. We can be dangerous. Well, we know we can. 18 goals in 5 games, says it all. That's how midweek was disappointing. We all had bad days, I get that. But there was too many. It was off midweek, and it was one of the few, out of the last 5 games, they're the only real football team we'd played that's half decent and up there. The rest have been huffing and puffing and struggling. Let's be fair about that. But yeah, the goals were scoring. 18 goals and don't forget the 3 against Norwich as well. Put them into consideration. 21 goals in 6-7 games is an astonishing return. It really is. The hardest thing to do in football is score a goal. And we've certainly found it hard over the years in certain games and certain seasons. But we are on fire. Everybody's chipping in. As I say, Azaz has got 16 as many games now. It's incredible. Still not convinced. I've mentioned that. I heard recently, Alan's 10 minutes. I heard recently, Bernie, that you were the first Irishman, despite that accent, wee bit of sarcasm there, to score in the Premier League. Is this true? And if so, who was the opposition? Yeah, I wasn't aware of it. Somebody told me several years back. I played for Middlesbrough my last season before I was booted out. was in the Premier League, today's Premier League, very first Premier League ever. But after we got promotion against Wolves into the Premier, and I know, I don't know the exact date, but it was against Manchester City. We won 2-1, I scored 2, and it was against Man City, and it was in the Premier League. And then years later, somebody got me in social network, or one of the pressmen, and I was doing an article or whatever, says, do you know you're the first Irishman, Republic or Northern Ireland to score in the Premier League? Wasn't aware of that. So, yeah, it's alright, isn't it? Not a bad team to score 2 against and be the first Irishman to score in the Premier League. Good. Steve Daly just says, and Arsenal. I can't remember what we were on about. Alan says, sorry. Rob, good to see Big Crouchy today at the Riverside, Bernie. Yeah, I think Crouchy, he was in my lounge, he went to 1 or 2 others, he went into, I think he was on the park at half time. It was funny because I put a picture on tomorrow. He got his legacy number. Wow. We've all got legacy numbers now. Yeah, he came up with his legacy number and he says, look, I'll leave it there, I'll go through there and talk to whoever. I said, I don't believe that, somebody will nick it. I was joking, of course. If you don't know what a legacy number is, it's like an A4 size bit of paper, size of that, and it's in a whatever, and that's it. Just gives you a legacy number. Whether you played, excuse me, 400-500 games or whatever, you get a legacy number. So if you've turned up for Middlesbrough for 20 minutes as a sub, you get a legacy number. There's actually a book out. Anthony Vickers, who used to work for the Gazette, very good reporter, journalist, he works for the club. He's got a book out, and it's, I think there's 1,000 players in it, if I'm right, who's got the legacy numbers. You can buy it as a Christmas present. I'm not here to plug it, I'm only mentioning it, because somebody asked me to sign it today. What's your legacy number? I said, I've not got a clue. I've got it here, but I don't know what number, I can't remember. Not that important. Steve Daly says, Dick Steele was a bit off the pace at the back, going forward half decent. Both full-backs were off par today. I don't think they were off. Don't forget, Dick Steele, he played that cup game at Leeds, he was fantastic. Scored a great goal, and then he was rested the next few games, then he was in one game and then out. It must be difficult. I'm thinking somebody asked Latty Laugh today, what about Latty Laugh? Scored a hat-trick last week on the bench today. Yeah, he must be peeved off. That scores 3, I'm in a British vein of form. I know he played during the week, but we can beat 1-0. That's no Latty Laugh fault we can beat 1-0. I thought Conway and Dope and Fry played well today for Borough, but the best player was Azaz, Andrew Hill. Yeah, Azaz, as I say, the ball he put into Bazog early doors, it was a great ball. Bazog should have finished it. That would have been an hour assist for Azaz. And his goal was a stunner. As I say, the technique. I was critical of his opening 10 game because every time he was getting a shot, somebody kept getting a block, and I'm thinking, I hit it earlier. He was check. I mean, a couple of checks today again, but he gets shots off earlier now. The lad probably knows himself. Sometimes he'll know he wants to hit it first time, but somebody unfortunately gets a block, and I get that. But critical of 11 games, no goals, but now, dear me, he's a fire. And he'll be on the radar with clubs as well, don't worry about it. Because he's creating and scoring now, he's really came to the fore. Don't forget he's an international player for the Republic. Mark Smith, hi Mark. Hi Bernie, good one today. It was that, Mark. Great to see us react like that and bounce back from midweek. I thought Dale Fry did very well today and good to see him back up the Borough. It was. Dale Fry's a local lad. Dale Fry signed a new contract last year and Dale Fry's been out for nearly a year with a few injuries and issues. So great to see the kid back. Let's hope we can make it a permanent fixture, but he's obviously got some competition now. So, but good luck to Dale. Dale, I know guys that know Dale, I don't know him personally, but he's a grounded kid, he's a good kid, and he's a local lad. So where else are we here? We're running out of time. Not a game for the purists, but good enough. Look, yeah, I don't think if you were a neutral watching it, you'd have thought it was a great game, but what we wanted today was to get and win a game, get 3 points, by hook or by crook. Even if it's a 1-0, I would have been more than happy with that, but we won handsomely, we won 3. When it was 2 and they scored, I thought, oh, here we go, the jitters are going to set in, the old habits, but we got a third and that was it, good night. But Hull City are in turmoil. I don't know who's going to get the job, but it's one hell of a job that they're getting in their hands. I thought the contingent of Hull fans made a lot of noise today, and when they scored It was as if they won the league. They were going mental. Yeah, I always feel sorry for the fans. Andrew Hill says, will Deng be playing for the next game instead of Saul Bryn playing against Burnley? I can't answer that, obviously, but Saul Bryn's did enough to think that he merits a place to stay in as long as he's fit. But I don't think he will. I think as soon as Deng declares himself fit, he'll be back in the side. That doesn't mean it's right, but Michael Carrick has showed this season that he's going to continue chopping and changing and juggling the squad. Don't forget, a squad of 28, you have to try, you don't have to, but you'll make players unhappy if you start, if you've got a settled team and so if there's 11 playing the rest, you've got a 28-man squad and the rest are on the bench or not playing week in, week out, they're going to be peeved off, aren't they? They're going to start upsetting the apple cart. 5-2 half-time, Arsenal West Ham. Wow, 5-2 half-time, wow. Our passing game has improved leaps and bounds over the last 5 games. Well, midweek, it was hit and miss. There was a few today could have been better, but when we move it quicker, midweek we were slow and laboured and predictable midweek. When we move it quicker, we look better for it. But it comes for the keeper. So Bryn gets it, plays it quick. The odds are he'll play it quick, the left-hand sided player, Borges or whoever, and then Ailing on the right or Dick Steele. We play it quicker. But if the tempo's quicker, try and get them ahead, 2 or 3 touch passes. Get the ball, get out your feet, pass it, pass. Sean McFarlane says, Azaz lob over the wall from the free kick, reminding me of Gaza to Platt England versus Belgium up the Borough. Tell you what, it'd been a good goal, wouldn't have? It was. Azaz just lobbed it. I think he actually lobbed it as opposed to as a